Just asked Jack, the club's chasing 5 straight wins for the first time in a while. How have you turned it around as a club after losing 6 or so in a trot?
Yeah, obviously the first thing you got to do is you got to work hard. The boys have not once wavered from showing up to training and ripping in, and I think that's a good starting point for any side that wants to turn it around. So we obviously, on top of that, probably simplified a few bits and pieces. Really got a clear idea about what our game looks like, and have been able to sort of string a few wins together just through doing that. So that doesn't change this week.
Is it fair to say it took a while to get over the loss of John Morris and change coach mid-year?
What was that, sorry, bro?
Did it take a while? Is it fair to say there was a bit of a hangover after John Morris left and adapting to a new coach and all that? There's a fair bit of talk around the club and where it was going.
Oh yeah, look, obviously you lose your coach, that's going to disrupt things a little bit, but we sort of straight away addressed it, and there was going to be no change in that, so we got on with things as best as we could. And what Head's done is he's kept the group tight. He's, like I said, he's kept our game plan very simple, and we've been really focused and narrowed in on that. So probably a lot of the distraction was from the outside, with the constant conversation about whether it was the right decision, wrong decision and whatnot. But for us, we remain pretty, I guess, dialed in on what we needed to do to, get through it and pick up some wins.
Congratulations on the new deal. Can you talk us through how it came about? Was that always the preference to be able to go there, back home, if it was an option?
Yeah, look, it happened really quick. The preference initially was to stay here, but then when you get told that that's not going to be the case, you're open to all suggestions and all options. So being back in NZ last week, became sort of the right time to have that discussion with the club, and I'm certainly glad it happened because I can't even really sort of believe it's happening still. That I get to head home at the end of the year and play the next couple of seasons for the Warriors.
Did you ever think, after leaving, that you'd ever end up back there? Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think you'd go back? No. If I'm being honest, I didn't ever sort of see it happening. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy how things work out and play out. It's only a month ago I was, pretty gutted that I wouldn't be staying at the Sharks. And fast forward a month, everything sort of happens for a reason, and can sort of really clear about my future and where my family's going to be for the next couple of years.
Shaun, even going back a month or so, you said that it wasn't an option to go to the Warriors. When did things change for it to become a possibility?
Literally last Monday.
So did they call you? How did it play out? Because we were like, or were you just trying to put us off the scent?
No, I just it happened. Like I just got a call last Monday, and then the Tuesday. Because it's last Monday I got a call, and then pretty much Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday just had multiple talks with the owner, Gus Gould, then obviously Nathan Brown, recruitment CEO Cameron George, just conversation really, about the club's intentions, about my intentions, and I think it became pretty clear pretty quick that my passion for the club was still there, and they felt and I felt ultimately that I'd be a good fit, and can certainly contribute to what they want to do. So look, while I'm laughing, I just don't get why it's like why it's even a story really. I signed with the Warriors, but for me it's hard to talk about because I've still got so much I want to do here for the rest of the year with this group, and that's what I'm sort of looking forward to.
I guess it's a story, Shaun, because even you said you didn't think it would ever happen again, and neither did we, so that's why it is.
Right.
So it's a big deal. The world makes sense. Everything in the world makes sense again. But just on that, obviously, next year, you get to play alongside someone like Reece Walsh.
Yep.
That's pretty exciting for you, no doubt.
Yeah, it is. There's multiple reasons. You choose to go to a club, and there's a heap why I wanted to go back to New Zealand and playing with players like that. And they've got a heap there that I can't wait to get to work with. It's all part of going back there, helping in any way I can. But certainly he's certainly one of them, which I'm looking forward to working alongside of, and see what we can come up with.
Shaun, did you feel in a sense like you had unfinished business with the club?
To a certain extent I did. Like my exit from there a couple of years ago happened nearly just as fast as going back as, it all sort of come about really quick, and I didn't ever get the chance to, play, like a game in front of, the fans that had supported me for all those years and say bye. And I didn't even get to go in and say, bye to my teammates, at the time. So I never ever achieved what I wanted to achieve back there, which was, winning a comp and, building a successful club and playing consistent finals football. There was certainly an element, that I've had in the, in the pit of my stomach of, unfinished business. But me going back there, there's so many more reasons why, why I'm so excited by it. The results is one thing, and the opportunity to play in front of, those fans again is something. But it's just a club. I can't really explain how much it means to me. It still kind of doesn't really feel real that it's happened and played out this way.
Knowing that how much the club does mean to you, when it was all done, what was your reaction? Were you a bit emotional, letting it sink in? Yeah,
I was. Like I said, it happened so quick. I'm still probably letting it soak in slowly, like being back in Australia. But I literally got the news through that, the deal was done. I told my wife Kayla, and she instantly started crying. I told my mum. I went for dinner with my mum and dad that night. They both started crying. I told my brother, who acts like this tough fella, and he didn't cry, but he said, "You almost made me cry," so that's good enough. And ultimately, I get shivers all over my body even just thinking about, heading back there. So that's how much it means, not just to me, but to my family, my friends. I've got best friends there that, were sitting in the grandstands, for all of my games I played there, that can't believe it, that cried as well. So I guess overall there was a lot of tears, but they were happy ones.
Well said. Thank you.
And Shaun, obviously, I'll go for Tima.
So it's just for Tima from the telly here. Do you feel a little bit vindicated because, you spoke about how quick your exit was and all the rumours swirling around that, and more recently there was a line that was pushed that, your management, pushed you to the Warriors, but senior players didn't want you there. Do you feel vindicated?
What does vindicated mean? Well, can you please spell vindicated and name its country of origin?
As in, because you were talking a little bit about how, I remember I spoke to you, I think, after the Panthers game, and you were talking about how you felt like some of the stuff written about you was, kind of a blight on your character. And one of those lines was that senior players at the Warriors didn't want you back.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
Yeah. I mean, I think that whole situation got a little twisted and blown out of proportion, or the water, as some would say. I know they had a conversation about whether they needed, not just myself, but a senior half at the time, and they were happy with what they had. Because I heard just what you guys heard. I heard what you guys wrote. I asked my manager straight away when that happened, and he said, "No, you haven't been offered back to the Warriors." So we knew what was going on the whole time. I think it was more a discussion around should we go after Shaun or should we go after another senior half. And my understanding was at that time, however many months ago it was, they didn't feel like they needed to. You know, they felt more than comfortable and confident in what they had. So that's my understanding of the situation. That's where I'll leave it.
The Warriors have been active in the player market. I think today Matt Lodge has been announced. Dallin's going back there as well. What do you make of those guys?
Yeah, no, it sort of picks up on what I said before. You know, there's many reasons why you go to a side, and the players you get to play with and the roster that they're assembling is a big factor. Touched on Reece Walsh, Dallin. I've played, you know, obviously Kiwis with and got a really good relationship with him. So looking forward to linking up at club level. Matt Lodge, you know, big middle. You know, he's going to bend the line for me, so I'm his friend automatically straight away. And yeah, like they've got guys there that I was playing with that are now sort of seasoned first graders, you know, that were a bit younger, that have gone on to, you know, really establish themselves, which I'm looking forward to getting back working with. So, you know, across the park, you know, there's many reasons to be excited about working with them.
Shaun, you mentioned unfinished business before with the Warriors. What's your unfinished business for the Sharks this year? What do you want to achieve in the run home?
Yeah, look, I'm probably since my injury, coming back from, you know, my Achilles, I haven't looked too far ahead, and I haven't thought too much big picture stuff. You know, I've kept it very narrow, very focused, and you know, like I'm confident that if I can continue to do that, then we're going to finish the year. You know, I'm going to walk out of this place with a smile on my face, and you know, just be very content with, you know, where we've finished up. You know, considering our start to the season, what our club's been through, you know, I think we can continue on this path that we're on at the moment. You know, stay tight, stay connected, and you know, play our footy, you know, with a smile on our face. Then, man, that's what I'm looking forward to. You know, like I'm liking the feeling, liking the vibe that we've been able to create so far through these wins. But there's still so far to go. So more of it, and more of it, and yeah, I'll be pretty happy.
So are the Sharks playoffs bound?
I guess time will tell, Zach. Time will tell.
Shaun, on the Cronulla halves that are there at the moment and will be there next year, what have you made of sort of Braden Trindle, Connor Tracy, players like that coming through in your time at the club?
Yeah, they're in good hands, man. You know, when Fitzy told me the news that I wasn't required and gave me his reasons, I couldn't fault him. I couldn't argue him. So, you know, Tricky and Connor are both, you know, really good young fellas that are, yeah, they're more than capable of taking this club where it needs to go. And you know, with the addition of Hines next year, hopefully they can keep, you know, Matty Moylan around for a little longer. Yeah, they're going to be just fine. So, loving working with them. You know, we're learning every day. We're working together, and you know, I think that's what it's all about. So we'll continue to do that, and can't wait to see them, you know, establish their role in the side next year for sure.
Has it been nice getting a string of games together with Matty? It's kind of been rare across the last couple of seasons, but 4 in a row and now 4 wins. Yeah, me and Matty are constantly working at our combination, and you know, the fact that we've been able to, I guess, train as well. You know, like, it's hard to show up on the weekend and just put in an 80-minute performance when you haven't done that prep together. And I think, you know, over the past sort of month, you've seen that we've been able to, you know, obviously execute on the field, but it's the work we do behind, you know, and away from the field. Away from what you guys see for 80 minutes, which has really benefited that. So, yeah, I'm loving it at the moment, and I'm loving working with them. You know, we're pretty like-minded in the way we want to play, and you know, the boys are getting around us with it. So, yeah, we're enjoying it.
Shaun, just one last one. Before you signed with the Warriors, it was almost that people were writing that it was a foregone conclusion that you were going to Canterbury. Did you ever get that close to actually signing with Canterbury?
No. You guys are so far off, man. That was probably the best part about it. No one even knew, eh? No one knew.
Apparently, you were like 95% certain that you were going to Canterbury.
Man, I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know.
You love this. You love this way too.
You know what I love? I love when like media and like pages on Instagram and that put out like a certain thing, and it's just so far, like it's just wrong. I love that. You're right, Zach. I do love it. No, I probably shouldn't love it as much as I do, but I do.